How's it going? I know it's been a little while since I've done a tech time video. I haven't really found anything that inspired me recently to do anything like this, but I think I have actually run across something that is involved with my other new venture, which is creating my own spices. If you'd seen my Spicy Time series, which I will provide a link, you will be aware that I've been creating my own powders for cooking, garlic powder, onion powder. I have some stuff coming up. But I thought, spices aren't just about powders, they're also about other things, like herbs. And one of the things that really bugs me about cooking when I need fresh herbs is I go to the grocery store and I buy, a package of rosemary. But I need 1 teaspoon of rosemary, but I have to buy enough rosemary to kill a cow. And basically, I don't use enough of that to frequently enough to where buying fresh rosemary or any other herb in that quantity, is economical. So what I would tend to do possibly is I would use the fresh herb for that recipe, and then I'd throw the rest in the dehydrator and dry it and use it for later. But that takes a long time, and is it worth it for just a few sprigs of something? So anyway, long story short is that whole circumstance just kind of got under my skin, and I thought, it'd be really cool to have my own fresh herbs that I could just pull and use as I needed, and I would have the other shoe for my 2 feet in my Spicy Time and adventure. The thing is, I don't really do well with plants, and I don't like getting out and digging in the dirt. It's just not something I enjoy. So what technological advancements do we have that enable me to grow plants without dirt? Hydroponics. And what other technology do we have to help assist me with dealing with the intricacies of plant growing? And that is anything computerized that will alert me to the fact that something needs to be done. So I started doing some research, and I ran across these particular products right here. So this is what I've purchased. The Aerogarden Countertop Hydroponics Garden. In this particular one, I can grow 9 plants and don't need to have any sunlight, don't need any dirt. And we're gonna put one of these together, and we're gonna grow our own herbs. Now the other thing is, I don't have a lot of counter space in my kitchen. This is a countertop hydroponics garden. I'm gonna grow it. Let's just get extreme. I'm gonna grow it in my recording studio where I have no sunlight, and we're going to see how they do in here. So let's get this out of the box, take a look at what we've got, and maybe set it up. Give it a try. Alright, so when it gets delivered, it's just in a box with Amazon tape on it. I mean, Amazon just flips the box around and mails it to you. So let's go and open it up and get the stuff out. We're not going to do a major unboxing or anything. We're just going to grab the stuff and put it on the table and describe what we got. Alright, so we've got an insert with the power adapter. We need power. We have the Gourmet Herbs seed pod kit. We're going to go over what these seed pods look like. But one thing I do want to comment about this particular product, sorry about that, is this, when they send you this, they specify the seeds you get, and they're pre-planted, so you can't be very custom with what you're initially growing, unless you also buy the Grow Anything pack, which comes without seeds pre-planted. So I can take these and plant whatever I want. But originally what comes with this particular one that I bought includes these pre-planted herbs. And these, I've got Italian parsley and chives and Thai basil and Genovese basil and curly parsley and more Thai basil, and more Genovese basil, thyme, and dill. So some of these I don't want to grow because I have a tendency to use specific herbs very frequently, and so I want to grow the herbs that I use the most. I mean, the whole purpose of this is having fresh herbs to cook with, not just to grow whatever. So I, in addition to buying the Grow Anything pack, I also bought a package of my own herb seeds, so we're going to plant those as well in this. They also provide you liquid plant food, which is part of the water mixture, and these are the seeds that I bought to put in here. I bought some chives, cilantro, dill, Italian basil, Italian parsley, mint, oregano, rosemary, sage, summer savory, tarragon, and thyme. So I've got a couple of these I'm going to double up on that I use frequently. For example, I'm going to double up on rosemary and thyme. I want the sage, parsley, and basil. So I don't need dill, I don't need cilantro or chives. So, you know, basically I'm going to combine the seeds I want out of this with some of the seeds in the original pack, and, you know, end up with the combination of things that I wanted to grow here. All right, let's keep going. We got stuff to unpack. Let's go. All right, so we've got the main LED panel. I don't know what this is. It's got USB ports on the ends. See that? I don't know what it is yet. This is a trellis structure that you can add on if you're going to have tall plants. I don't think my plants are going to be very tall, so we'll set that aside. And the main body of the unit. One of the great things I like about this is not only, and you know how I am, not only is this technical, futuristic, it's also connected to the Wi-Fi system and all that to give me all the alerts I need for taking care of these plants. So, very excited about that. This is the base with all the electronics in it. This is the port where that thing I didn't know what it was. Clearly that's part of the light structure. Sure it goes. It looks like it's hard to mess up. They've got guides for the direction this is supposed to go, so I suspect it's just going to drop right in there like that and plug right in. I think you saw that. All right, then we have the tank. So this is the tank unit. This is how we fill it up, and there's the thing that says fill to here, so we clearly have a fill line. And these are where the pods go, the seed pods. And this is how you can fill that up at any given time. All right, this sets right on there and plugs in there. By the way, I'm just doing this. I've read no instructions. Okay. Now, one of the things that's interesting is you'll see on the lighting structure is that there are these things that you can unscrew to extend this vertically. This light will actually extend up to, it says 24 inches. So we can have this grow light 24 inches above our plant. Now, I doubt we're going to have any plants that are that big, and to start with, they're going to be little nubs, so we're just going to start it with its lowest point here. In a minute, we're going to break out the instructions, but I'm pretty sure we're doing okay on our own. And we have our power supply, standard American power supply. We're not going to plug this in. We do see where to plug it in, but we're not going to plug it in just yet until we read the instructions. So they did provide us a quick start guide, so we'll look at that really quickly. It does give us a schematic of what all these items are. The electronic portion at the bottom that I showed you is the base. The part where the water goes is the bowl. The part where the pods go in, this is called the grow deck. The light post we've already met, and the LED grow light. Well, let's just go through the quick setup guide. Why not? We're all about quick. Step 1, insert post in the base, making sure it faces the front end until the line is level with the base. We've already done that. 2, insert hood onto post until the mark line is covered by the LED grow light. 3, plug pump and power cord into base. It beeped. Touch quick plant to start. I guess we're going to go through the quick plant guide, and I guess we're going to get started. Seems like we're moving awfully fast. Set your clock below, then touch next to continue. 8. 8:06. All right, it's 8:06 p.m. Touch next, then select the option that best represents the type of garden you'll be growing. Herbs. For herbs, your light will be on for 15 hours. Touch next and then update your on-off times as needed. Okay, 15 hours, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Why not? Step 1. Pour water through the port to fill line. Extremely hard water may impact growth. I need water. All right, we have water. What's next? Step 2, grow pods. Plant your grow pods by inserting them in the grow deck. Set grow domes on the pods. Okay, this is where we actually plant our plants. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to do a mixture of things. I want from the herbs I received. Okay, this is what they look like, by the way. So they're basically little cones with a little bit of dirt in them, and the seeds are planted in there. So, and we just drop these in each of these grow pods. If this is what I want, thyme, I absolutely want thyme. We'll put thyme there. Just dropped it right in, and the bottom part kind of hit the water and kind of bounced a little bit. If you saw that, did you see that? Okay, and then they give us these domes to put on them. Okay, and we just pop them right on top there. The lights came on. So we're going to plant what we want in these other 6 holes. We want 1 oregano, 2 rosemary, 2 sage. All right, I feel like I fixed those as best as I could because those oregano seeds are super tiny. Right, pop that in there. All right, then we're going to put away the rest of the seeds in the seed pods for future use. Who knows what we may use them for. Let's go ahead and finish putting the caps on these. All right, that concludes the grow pod part. Let's see what's next. Step 3, plant food. Add plant food through the port. Use amounts as instructed on plant food package. 9 pods, 2 capfuls at startup and second feeding, then 3 capfuls every 2 weeks thereafter. So we're going to start out with 2 capfuls. All right, plants are duly fed. Next. Congratulations! Your Aerogarden is now ready to grow. Touch OK to start your Aerogarden. Note, the pump will run 1 hour every 11 hours when in germination mode. After 2 weeks, it shifts automatically to the best pump cycle for your planted garden. Finish. All right, so this is what we have. This is our status. The water's full. It shows the time. Shows how many days we've been growing, 0. How many days in the growth cycle on the right, 14. So this growth cycle will be 2 weeks and we'll have to add more food. So let's go ahead and close up the port. Keep the water nice and safe. The next thing is we need to set this thing up for Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. Connection to Wi-Fi is not needed to enjoy your garden, but the Aerogarden app does unlock new features. We need an app. We'll go install that in a minute. Download the Aerogarden app by searching for Aerogarden in your mobile app store. Let's do that. All right, so the first step of this says we need to download the Aerogarden app from our favorite app store. So we have this Android, we'll go to Google Play, and we'll look for Aerogarden. And we will install. And the Aerogarden app only is viewable in landscape mode. So let's go ahead and, I guess we have to create an account. I won't share that with you. Word of advice: set your account up at aerogarden.com on your computer. Don't try to set it up using your phone because it's a pain in the ass. The app does not fit well on the phone. The form, very difficult to maneuver on the phone. Set it up on your computer first, then log in. It's fine after that. Click on the Wi-Fi button and we have a selection here. So we're going to say connect to Wi-Fi. Connect to your preferred network to pair your garden to the Aerogarden app. Touch next to choose your Wi-Fi network. Select your preferred network, and of course it's going to be Mesopotamia. Select next, and then enter the Wi-Fi password. Your garden is now connected to the Mesopotamia network. Touch next to receive the scan code to pair your garden to the app. So in this instance, we are selecting New Bounty. Connect our Aerogarden to the Wi-Fi, which we've done. Link your Aerogarden to the app by touch the menu on your control panel, select the Wi-Fi, and then connect to Wi-Fi. We've done all that. Touch next and use your device's camera to scan the barcode. So we got a barcode down here. If your Aerogarden touchscreen does not currently show it, well, we do. Only this time. Allow. Next. So the app crashed. That's good. Okay, so look, it added the garden. Okay, so now we have the app. We can see a few things on here. We've got 0 days planted, the water is full. Add water in 14 days. We have our light cycle, 8 to 11, 15 hours, as noted. So just to reiterate, so it took a little bit to get this connected. It wasn't very hard. It just wasn't clear on which type of Aerogarden I was supposed to select. Once I selected the right one, it went pretty quickly. When I did scan the barcode, it actually crashed the app. But then when I opened the app back up, it was attached to my garden. So it sort of, around the bend, ended up working. All right, so let's take a look at the app. Can we turn the light off and on? We can. We're in germination mode. Do you see that? So if you click here, you can turn the light off and on. What do we have from the menu? We have My Gardens. Oh, because you can actually manage more than one garden from this app. So you can manage multiple gardens. Quick Plant Garden Settings. So this is Wi-Fi and app. Oh, a garden log. Audio alerts. Vacation mode. Apparently there's a vacation mode. Defaults. My pictures, my account. Was there a thing for notifications? Audio alerts. Audio alerts sound when water or plant food are low. Your audio alerts are off. Well, I don't know that I will. I may turn those on later. I don't know that I want them on right now for my phone to start alerting me audibly if I'm in a meeting or something at work or whatever. That may not be so great. There's a community, my pictures, recipes. All right, all kinds of good information in here. So that's pretty cool. All right, so the last thing we have to do is put our Aerogarden where we intend on keeping it. And I don't intend on keeping it on my main table. I intend on keeping it on one of my bookcases over here. So we're going to go move that on top of there, put it in its final resting place, and then I'll give you a look at it. And then you're not going to see this video for a month because I'm not going to show it to you till I've got stuff growing in there. So I'm going to put this where it belongs, and we're going to let it grow. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen, sitting right up there on my desktop. It is a little bright, I will admit. All right, next time you see this, it will be a week from now. Maybe we'll have sprouts, maybe we won't. Hope we do. Anyway, we're going to keep you posted how this goes weekly, and then I will post this in a month, and we'll see where we stand. All right, we'll see you guys later in a week. All right, it's been a week, and guess what? We have babies. Right now, our status shows, can you see it? Status shows 8 days in, full tank, 8 days in the growth cycle, 6 days left before we have to provide some more food for the babies. I have baby basil. I have baby oregano on its way up. I have baby sage. And that's all I kind of see right now. Is there anything there? But that's what I have after the first week. So I'll see you back here in another week. We'll see where we've come then. And also next week we'll have to do the feeding and refill the water. So you'll get to see the 2-week events and see how far we've come. I think it's pretty exciting. All right, it's been 2 weeks. We're being duly directed to add plant food. For our garden, we're going to add 2 capfuls of the plant food. We don't need to add water. Water looks fine. And we do have plants. We have 2 things of basil, those 2 in the back. We're getting a little bit of oregano and sage, and another little sage there, and an Italian parsley, but little teeny tiny rosemary there. Now they did warn us that some of the plants may take a little bit of time to actually sprout, up to a month they said. However, this rosemary, we see nothing. And our thyme is soaking wet, and it looks like there's nothing but mold in it. Do you see the white stuff in there? Maybe not, but it looks like it's just a white mold. So we're going to replant the thyme, and I think we're going to replant the second rosemary. But the rest look like they're doing pretty well. I'm pretty happy so far. That's what we got for 2 weeks. I think I'm going to replant the other ones tonight. And I don't know. I guess we'll see you in another week and see how things look. All right. It's been 3 weeks. The water shows medium full. So clearly it's time to put some more water in it. It is not time to put any more plant food, though. So we'll get some more water in it. No big whoop. You don't need to see that. What you do need to see is this. I have 2 big basils. One getting started oregano. One pretty good sized sage and a little baby sage in the back. I have the parsley starting to really show. I have 1 rosemary and another one that's not quite doing much, and the thyme. If you remember last time, I showed you that the thyme was actually just a big thing of mold. Well, the thyme now is sprouting, so that's good. So I'm waiting on this other thing of rosemary to sprout as well. And one of the things that's interesting, two of the things that's interesting, are some of the garden tips we've received. I had no idea about this. So we put a bunch of seeds in these grow pods because you don't never know if one's going to be a dud or whatever. Well, one of the tips we got was, in herbs, you don't have to like weed them out and just have one strong plant. They said let them all grow. They'll all be fine. The second thing is, if you'll notice, some of these are much taller than the others. Well, what the second tip recommended was not to start raising the lights up until all the plants are the same size. And so what you do is you start enjoying the taller herbs. You start trimming them and taking your little harvest and using them. So I guess pretty soon we'll be using the basil while we wait for the others to catch up, and then we'll be able to raise the light as they grow taller. But we'll soon maybe have some fresh basil to use, which is super duper exciting. So this is pretty cool after 3 weeks. You know, it's funny, I come in and I can see every single day how much the basil has grown. It grows every single day something. So that's pretty cool. It's really odd that I'm nerding out on this so much. I think it's super duper fun. And I guess we'll see you back here in one more week, and then we'll be a full month, and we will be feeding them again, and maybe we'll be harvesting something. Maybe I'll share a recipe with you. All right, well, we'll see you back here in a week. All right, it's been another week. It's been a total of a month. If you look, basil is a little bit tall. The gardening tips have suggested that this should stay several inches below the light. As you see, he's actually touching the light. And I need to trim him, which is fortunate because I've got a recipe for him. Now, what it says is not to raise the light until everything has started growing high enough. Well, the only things that are that high are the basil, so we're going to trim them back. We're going to harvest them, and we've got a couple of recipes here that we want to use some basil in. So I have my trimmers. Let's get some basil. Okay. Trim those back. And we're going to go make some food. All right, so we just refilled all the water and we're putting in our plant food. Now at the 1 month mark, we are to put in 3 capfuls of plant food. And there we have it. 1 month in, we've got basil growing like crazy, oregano coming on strong, along with the sage as well. Our parsley is starting to come along, and the thyme has now officially started ticking. Only thing we have left is this other rosemary. We have this little rosemary here, kind of in the shade right there, and this little one here, but it's coming along as well. So, all in all, we have 1 month in on our herb garden, and we've harvested it for the first time and made a really nice meal with the basil tonight. So there we have it, and I'm having a really great time with my Aerogarden. It is pretty rewarding, and you know, it kind of complements my cooking hobby, and now it gives me a reason to look for new recipes to use with the herbs I've been growing. So that was the whole purpose behind this. So I think it's great and it's amazing. I will say this is a little bit pricey to get started with. This particular model was about $325, but you know, for what it does, super cool, and I'm really excited about it, and I really love it. So there we have it, Aerogarden. It's fun. Give it a try if you can. All right. So we'll see you later.